Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of GNN. Today is Thursday, May 11th, 2023, and we have a new mobile suit on our hands here. But before we get into those details of our brand new mobile suit, let's go over some news. Alright folks, leading at the top of our list we have the return of ranked matches. That's right folks, the 9th iteration of ranked matches here, and signups have started today. So you can sign on and apply to get matchmaked once the ranked event begins. And if we click on here, we have a short iteration. It is going to be $350 cost, a brawl, just like all the previous ones recently. It's going to be on Impact site where you and 11 lucky other contestants duke it out for the highest score, or the highest RP points, or rank points as it's called. Sorry, I don't know why I called it RP points. But we are all divided up based on our ranking, or rating rather, and paired up with however many people in our league there. Hopefully I get a pretty decent one because the reward is a mobile suit, lo and behold, and it's very much similar to how clan matches are almost calculated. So yeah, it's gonna get pretty sweaty for people that want the suit because it looks like it is the Zaku Diver. Now I do have the 400 version, but this is if you manage to score in the first place part. If you're all the way up from D to B, you have to score first for both level 1 and level 2. Now I'm in A, so I have to place top 3. That's going to be, in some cases, a tall order because, well, I think I've already almost full-tuned my level 1, but I don't have a level 2 yet, and I'm very curious to see how that's going to handle at 450, because this is a 400 cost native. This also gives you a chance, if you do top place, for the main weapon, the main primary as well, which more than likely will be locked for a while until they decide to release it for the DP store. Maybe the RT, but more likely DP. Probably a long while from now. We also do get a DP reward, so that's also great for getting those lovely parts that you haven't had a chance to get yet, or even contribute to some mobile suit tuning. And then, last but not least for that, we do get the Nightheart Operator, good old Tenda's Guardian, as a voiceover during our matches here. So, and then for those that are able to be super talented, if they happen to globally place anywhere from 1 to 500, they do get some additional bonuses for recon crates, as you can see here, which is pretty crazy. Alright folks, so our main event is the 3-star Dolmel, which we'll get into a second. We also have a special limited supply drop for the Silver Bullet. Technically it's a reissue, but this is for those of you that haven't had a chance to get this suit yet. Maybe you just started. This is for a chance to get either the 650 or 700 cost version of the Silver Bullet. I believe both are pretty viable. And on top of that, you do get the Saber at level 2 as well. So that's pretty crazy, considering that if you do have the Jigen variants at, I think, level 1 and level 2, you do have the primary already covered, so that's pretty nice here. In addition to that, we do have some units being added to the recycle counter. The Z2 level 3 version, which I believe is the 700 cost, if I'm not mistaken, that's being added. We do have both the level 1 and level 2 Gira Zulu, 550, 600 respectively, being added, and then the 600 version of the Z Zulu as well. Jumping down to the DP store, we have the level 3 Tristan, which to be quite fair, that's kind of cool. I know some people like this, but BB Studios, if you're watching this, it's definitely gotten power crept. It does have a very strong melee, but getting in there with the uncertainties of teammates and everything else in between, it's gonna need some more love. Alright folks, our main event is here. This is a 3-star native 450 cost raid, a Dolmel from basically Revue. I think it was an arcade game originally, and it's also in Full Suit Gundam Katana. So technically it's not just part of one franchise, but technically two if we consider the circumstances. It is pretty much the obscure mobile suit that only has the MS-19 designation, which follows right after the Camphor, which is also an experimental unit, but at least we got screen time with that. This is its only iteration now, and then I think it was maybe in Gundam Online. Never got to play it. You know, trying to sort through the list of suits that they had in Katakana and Kanji was not exactly the easiest thing to do, but reading off of this, it was developed in Abaoku, or Geta Zadan, if you want to go into Zeta terminologies there, during the last stages of the 1-year war. As I mentioned, it is a MS-19 designation, but it is basically essentially a phantom suit, obscure suit that only was brought to life between those two franchises there. It has built-in weaponry and beam sabers, no handheld stuff, although it does kind of make sense that I'm pretty sure if the operator was desperate enough, it can probably carry some handheld weaponry aside from the internal beam sabers that it carries on it. So, but yeah, usable on ground and space. In addition, if you're doing 10 pulls for this wonderful obscure suit, which honestly, like I said, I have it and it looks great. Well, I just said I have it, but we get a chance to get the full uniform normal suit of Simagaraha. So all of you guys that have well, some hankerings on 8883, well, here's your chance. So now into the nitty-gritty. Alright folks, into the lovely stats of the MS-19 Dolmel. It is a priority 3 suit. Not surprising considering it's a raid. It does have space compatibility, which is maybe not surprising considering that it does have origins on Abaoku, although I can see this not having issues on ground just because the high turning speed that this thing has, but I think that might make it a little unfair because of it's already got decent speed for a 450 cost raid and a pretty high thruster gauge to begin with. We do have the internal beam guns, which are able to stagger. Base power of 1800, 80% heat rate, 300 meters, 15 second overheat with a 3.5 second cooldown. So I would almost treat this like a bazooka just because you do need more time to have this cooling down. I think we kind of played this in practice, which you'll see in the B-roll here. It does take some time. You do have a regular beam saber, 1900 base power with 2 seconds, well, 2 second cooldown. It has a weird swing animation. It's kind of Federation-like with the sides and maybe neutral, but once you get into the downswing, it's just so wild. It has that sort of downswing slide kick deal, maybe as a throwback to the arcade game, which, I mean, if you have some connection to that, it's great. It's pretty neat, but at the same time, man, I feel like it's going to get caught with its pants down. We do have missile pods on its chest. It's supposedly supposed to have missiles on its shoulders as well somehow, but I guess those were omitted for game balance. These do damage, and I think on 5 shots you do get that flinch to come off, so it's pretty nice. Great for a whim. Jumping into the heat pile, basically it's shoulder attack. It's basically a melee, which actually on a neutral or side swing, I think it staggers, hard staggers. But downswing animation is a page taken from the AG, which ignores buffer damage reduction and well, it chews up legs. I'll put it this way: on a stock 450 Gilga cannon, it did about 10k off of just this alone. So if somebody is not paying attention and doesn't do their homework on the suit, it's gonna get trolled hard. It's gonna get stomped. You name it. Same goes for this one here with the beam saber. No, I don't mean the buffer ignore feature, but this thing has a forward momentum downswing as well. It's pretty nasty. Not quite the Xeon Ifrit style twin saber swing animation, but I would say, to safely put it, it's pretty unique. Now, of course, we do have a discharge beam gun mode, which is really weird because it's basically a twin beam mode that you can fire on the run, on the go, and it's weird because it's almost like you have both a beam version and a ballistic version to retaliate against something like the Alex CA or the Chobam armor. To be, for those of you guys that are unfamiliar, it literally just shrugs any type of ballistic stun buildup while it's at full health. So that's pretty crazy. I don't think it's going to be the end-all be-all, but when you see a shopping list of skills like this, man, got some pretty normal stuff for a raid. A lot of stuff is level 2, which include force injector and maneuver armor. You have offensive system, 3 swings, power accelerator 2. You also have interrupt tackle, so the raid version of the powered GM3, in a sense. Enhanced tackles, you got leg buffer 1 and back cushions, and a instant precision system, hence the powered GM reference. But with all this fun stuff, it is truly one of those old school raids because there is no emergency evasion. Honestly, if it had it, I think that would really put the icing on the cake here, but without it, makes it highly balanced, considering the heavy-handed melee that this is able to do. So yeah, main thing to do when you see this thing on the field is to literally just stomp it and stop it dead in its tracks before it can do anything. Otherwise, you're just, yourself and your team are just in a world of hurt. Alright folks, that is it for tonight's GBO2 banner news via GNN. If you guys found the news informative, enlightening, found it entertaining, anything of the sort, please do not hesitate to hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely helps out the channel and dealing with the algorithm that is YouTube. If you guys have any theories or comments about the new suit, or maybe if you had first run-ins with that, definitely let me know. So until next time guys, I will see you all on the next video.